In today's episode, we're dealing with this. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned while working on this machine is how to deal with problems that seem really complicated and overwhelming. And what I think it boils down to is finding a place where you can build momentum from. And for the electrical work, that was redoing the wires for the pressure stat, because that's relatively simple. From there, I just started chasing wires, and what I quickly realized was that it's going to be a lot of work. So after tackling a couple simple things, it's time to move on to sorting out this water level switch. So the way this works is power comes from the main switch and goes to this pole right here. When the switch is in this position, that connection allows power to flow to this solenoid, which then opens, allowing water to flow through this pipe into the boiler. Once the appropriate water level is reached, this switch will close, thus cutting power to the solenoid, closing it, and forcing water to go this way into the heat exchangers for brewing coffee. If the water level gets too low, it opens again and the cycle restarts. Now, I found the wire, which I'm assuming goes to this pole. It comes straight from this power switch here. But what I need to figure out is what is going on here. Now, it looks like I'm assuming the previous owner did this, not the factory, but they've twisted together a couple wires to make this loop. But they've left a cut wire here, which I have no idea what it's for. I don't see any cut wires, but I need to figure out what's going on there before I can power this thing on so I don't electrocute myself. So I figured the best way to avoid that was probably to figure out what each wire does in its current configuration. So I spent a lot of time mapping out the wires and drawing a comprehensive wiring diagram. And that actually helped me figure out why the wires were the way they were at the back and allowed me to move forward with some confidence. And now what you're looking at is hours upon hours of me just pulling wires apart and replacing them all one by one. And the reason why I'm doing this is because the insulation was in really bad shape and there was tons of exposed copper everywhere. So after the wires were done, I moved on to cleaning this little electrical box that everything lives in and started by reattaching the pressure stat to the machine. Before finalizing this wiring harness, I just wanted to make sure that everything functioned as intended. So that's why all the wires are kind of all over the place right now. So once everything is confirmed as working, I'm going to add some heat shielding and shrink tube to make sure that everything stays nice and safe. But now, time for testing. So after you've messed around with electrical systems, it's always a good idea to check if you've shorted anything out. So I've got my multimeter and it's set to the continuity setting. And so when I do this, I can hear a beep. Now let's check if the ground is grounded. So, okay, that's good. Now I'm going to check if the hot goes to ground. Okay. Nope, good there. Check the other hot. Good there as well. Now I'm going to check the continuity between the poles on the switch. Just going to turn the switch on. Okay, that's good. All right. I've also got a drip tray, but this one's not original to this machine because it didn't come with one. I'm going to have a drip tray made, but if that doesn't work out, then I'm just going to modify this one so it fits a little better because it's kind of close. The other very annoying thing is, as you can see, there's surrounds for these buttons, but I lost one. It's somewhere in my garage. I can't find it. I'm hoping that I do, but if I don't, I will come up with an alternate solution. All right, let's see if this thing works. It works. I can't tell you how happy I am to get to this point. It's been a lot of work, but clearly it's worth it. Especially now that I can literally taste the fruits of my labor, because I can make a coffee on here if I want. Now, before I do that, I want to get this machine 100%. So the next episode is going to focus on essentially the finishing touches, cleaning up this wiring, getting the frame, or not the frame, but the outside looking nice, and figuring out a couple little things, like a stand for this motor, why there's no water coming out of the second group, and yeah, I'm pumped. I hope you are too. Thanks for watching.